Apple is denying a report that alleges it, along with manufacturing partner Foxconn, violated Chinese labor laws. A Chinese watchdog issued a report stating 50% of Apple's workforce at one of its Chinese facilities were temporary employees. Chinese law states only 10% can be temporary hires. We want to turn to the panel on this one. Is this really the kind of thing that's going to upset the apple cart for Apple?
Pun intended?
No pun intended, actually.
Okay. Pun unintended. Well, if you ask Mr. Market, he will say no, because it's not affecting the stock today at all. And, this is part of an ongoing friction point for Apple in terms of its manufacturing with Foxconn, which has had black eyes before. And by the way, this has nothing to do with the trade war. I mean, this is a whole long-standing issue, although the report suggests that Apple is looking to mitigate costs that it has incurred because of the trade war by having a more onerous employee relationship strategy at Foxconn, which I think is a bit of a stretch.
Well, and the sort of old stereotype is that part of the reason companies went to China was sort of for this reason, right? That you could work people there hard and not pay them very much, and that the economics there were more favorable.
Yeah, it's clear that when it comes to corporate America that moved a lot of their supply chains to China, they don't want to pay the minimum wage that they would pay factory workers, Americans working here, creating the same types of products. But in terms of the allegations, they are pretty serious. Apple is viewed by many on Wall Street as the poster child when it comes to the trade war, and we definitely want to be sure that Apple is complying at least with local laws. And they're being accused of having 50% of the workforce being temporary workers when the law says 10% during the month of August.
And it's not even that. Apparently some of these temporary workers are interns and college students who are trying to earn some extra cash, who worked 100 hours. I don't know how you do it.
Wait, I think Sibile has an interesting point, and we've gone so far. I mean, can you imagine a union Apple manufacturing facility in the United States?
It's not even going.
It's not even, well, that would be amazing.
That's where President Trump would like it to go.
I think it's these Chinese workers like these jobs and want these jobs too, but it would be pretty amazing if some of these companies made these products really here full bore with a unionized workforce. Could you imagine?
What are the margins on the phone?
No.
How much more would we pay?
I think you're right.
I can't imagine.
No, you're right.
It comes with a $5,000 iPhone.
It was,
yeah, but
it was
quite honestly,
a pipe dream.
But has anyone ever crunched what would the actual cost of an iPhone be if it were to be produced?
Let me ask you another question. Yeah. What are the margins on the iPhone?
Yeah,
right? iPhones are very expensive, Adam, but I think that Apple still makes money just on that hardware piece, never mind all the software that comes with it. But the margin was certainly contract, and I don't know how much pricing power they have. I don't think they could price the phone a lot more at this point, because it's expensive.
And as we've been talking about, there's a new one coming, or new ones coming.
Yes.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. I was about to say next week, but it's the new week already.